Hey team, gather around. It's halftime. It's 2 o'clock Pacific time, which is to me halfway in the day. So this one is about motivating you to make more money, and there's a really cool process that I realized I use in improv, that I also use in other areas of my life, probably all of them, and then especially in my coaching practice. So let's get to it. So in improv, it's acting without a script, and we do these games. Scenes, they're like skits or skits or like they're little movie scenes that you make up on the spot. Sometimes you get a suggestion from the audience, like a location or relationship, like this is a mom and dad scene, at the park, and then you make something happen. And then improv, like, there's all kinds of, like, restrictions depending on which kind of game you're doing. There's, like, the alphabet game where every line has to start with the next letter in the alphabet. If the first one's A, like, a raccoon. And then the next person has to start with B, better run from the rabid raccoon. So it was A and B. Anyway, that was improv. Little improv. But here's my process. So in improv, like, you want to think very quickly. You're not hesitating. You're not like standing around like thinking all the time. So the first thing is you got to go with your gut. You got to pick something and right away. Whether it's your first thought or your second thought or your third thought, but you're going with it quickly. And the beauty of it is it doesn't really matter what you pick. It doesn't matter if I just think in my head like I'm a firefighter. Okay, that's my idea, and I just decide to be a firefighter. Then that's as good as idea as if I had thought, oh, I could be a doctor. Oh, I could be a bum on the street. Any of those, it's fine. So you pick one, and how do you choose? Well, you have this instinct, and it comes up in your head, and you go with it. So once you go with the idea, then the next step is you got to go strong with it. So you got to commit. You got to embrace it like it's the most brilliant idea you could possibly do. And you're going to go all in on it. So you're really owning it, I think is the word. So if I decide that I am going to play a character that loves dogs, then I'm going to own that. I'm going to really, really be a character that loves dogs. I might have a dog with me. I might be petting a dog. And if I decide to pet the dog and that's my choice, then I'm going to, I'm going to fully do it. I'm not going to half do it. So you owning it. Second, that's the second step in the process. Choose and then own. Doesn't matter what you pick, but whatever you pick, you've got to own it like it's genius. Third step in the process. Now you've got to sustain it. You got to go all the way. You can't just commit like some people commit, including myself, for the first part, for a second, for a minute even, where I'm I'm the dog guy, right? And here's a dog in my arms, and I've got one, and then, other things are happening, and I get start to doubt whether this was a good idea, and I drop it. I might even like the dog that I was holding like disappeared, and I just stopped. And the owning of it was like I was owning it. I was petting the dog. I was like letting it lick my face, and then I just stopped and I dropped it, and I didn't finish the scene having that attitude. Now you can things can happen in the scene where you change. Usually emotionally, I could have been happy and then something happens and I'm sad, but I'm not dropping that I'm a dog guy or my worldview is dogs are better than humans. And if I choose that, if I pick that and I own it, and I play a character that thinks dogs are more important than my human friends, that I gotta sustain that the entire time. And that's what's funny. It's the commitment and the continuing to do it. Oh my God, he's still petting the dog. He's still letting the dog lick him. He's still in it. And he's not dropping it. He's not losing it no matter what's happening. Even if a character was like, there's a fire, and we're running around, but I'm not losing my dog. And if anything, then I just use that more, to inform what my decisions would be for the fire. Like somebody else is like, help me get out of here. But I've got my dog and I'm like, I'll get the dog out first. Come back for you. And that was all because I just owned that choice and then sustained it and keep going. So that's the process. Go with your gut, go strong, and then go all the way. All right, so that's an improv. And I realized I use that almost every single time I'm up there in an improv scene, in an improv performance. And then I'm always getting laughs. So, in money-making activities, you can apply this to. So what happens in money-making? So we need an idea. So that's go with your gut. And it doesn't really matter which one. Because you can make anything work. You can be successful with any idea. It's not the idea. It's other factors that make you successful. But what happens is we take too long thinking about what idea we're going to do, and we keep it's mostly doubting it. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I'd get tired of it. And then you're not starting it. So you could have an idea for the simplest business. We'll just start with lemonade stand. You could have an idea to do a lemonade stand as a kid, but then you're doubting it. But the idea is good enough, so you pick it. And then you own it. You own the choice. I'm doing a lemonade stand. I'm going all in on it, right? So you make the sign. And you decide what hours you're going to be outside, and you're going to get the ingredients, and you're going to get the lemonade, and you're just fully owning the decision. You tell your parents, I'm doing it. I'm doing a lemonade. It's happening on Saturday. Here's my sign. I need you to take me to the grocery store. And then once you get out there, now is the third step. Now you got to go all the way. You can't get tired for 5 minutes and nobody's walked by your stand yet. You got to be no, the lemonade stand is still open. I'm still doing this idea. I'm committing and sustaining. And you're sustaining it with belief. You believe that good things will happen if I keep doing this. If I keep showing up at the lemonade stand, sitting out there, having the lemonade ready to go, and then people walk by, and if one person doesn't like it, you don't give up. If somebody's I don't like lemonade, no thanks. I don't have sugar. You don't abandon it. You keep going. And that will make you more money, right? Because then you're out there still, and then the next person comes and they do buy the lemonade. And you're I'm glad I kept it going. So, in the coaching, my profession, coaching, I've had to do the same thing. I had to pick the idea of being a life coach. And at first I was very doubtful of it. But when I decided, like, no, it's like my gut instinct is really to be a coach. It's like more than a gut. It's this calling. And I'm going to own it. I'm going to own that I have that calling. And now that I've owned it, and now I'm going to proceed and be like, what are the coaching things to do? Well, I'm going to like see if I can coach. And I will like, let's read a book about it. Let's take a class on it. I went to a life coaching school. I got like a full training in it. But then you're basically at the end of the day, though, you're like, I'm a coach. I'm owning that I'm a coach. I'm going to like ask somebody if they would like coaching, and I'm going to like do it. And I'm going to see it all the way through. And at the first sign of trouble, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not just like the dog thing. I'm not going to just let it go. I'm not going to distract myself. I forgot I was a coach. Just like, I forgot I was the dog guy in the scene. And you're like, no, when you really own it, you don't forget. And yeah, it takes some like boldness and bravery to keep going. But if you do that, you'll make money. You'll make money as a pro coach. I remember the first 6 months I was a coach, I did not make any money. I decided I'm going pro, I'm turned pro. I read the book, Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield even. I hired a coach. I'm going out there telling people I'm a coach. I'm giving people an experience of it. Here, have some trial sessions with me. And then they'd ask me, how does it work? How do I work with you? And I'd tell them, and they would say no. And people were saying no for like 6 months. But I kept at it because I'm not going to stop being a coach. I'm still going to go all the way. All right, so that's how that works in that example. We can start thinking about how no matter what where you are in your business, or it applies. It's not just starting the business. You could have an established business, and it would still apply because it's like let's just say you've been coaching for a while, and now you have this idea to do a 6-month package, and now you've been doing one-off sessions, and now you're going to do a 6-month package. And see, that's the idea. You just pick it. You just decide. But then when you decide, I'm doing a 6-month package, now you own it. You really commit that that's what it is. And then I'm going to sustain that. I'm going to have a 6-month package. I'm not going to just say it once and then go back to one-off sessions. Like, no, I'm going to keep going. And not for just a 2-week experiment. And be like 6 months. 6 months of offering a 6-month package. And not dropping it no matter how many no's I get. No matter if I stop, if I start to doubt it, then I have to manage my mind. Because I'm going to, just like in improv, if I get scared, like, oh my God, are people even noticing that I have a dog here? I haven't even said it yet. These people are talking. Should I just stop? And you get scared in your mind, but you got to that's when you just go stronger. You're like, you go stronger. I pet the dog more. I kiss the dog. I snuggle the dog. You do more with the dog, not less. And then you keep going. So I managed my mind in the middle of it. And the money-making business is the same thing. You have a 6-month offer, and it might seem like, oh no, this isn't working. But that's where you manage it. Like, no, I'm committing to it. I'm going to go all the way. And that will be better in the end. You'll be more powerful. You'll be you'll be stronger, like a stronger performer. Just like in improv, you're trying to be funnier. It will be funnier if you sustain it. In business, you'll make more money if you sustain it. And I had to learn that lesson. because I kept changing ideas and offers all over the place just because doubt kept creeping in. All right, also, one more way that we can apply this process, going with your gut, going strong, and going all the way, is in like your affirmations. So just your mindset in general. So if I pick the affirmation that I am a successful business person, okay? I'm a successful businessman. I'm going with that affirmation. And it doesn't matter which one I do, as long as like I felt good. Like that's a good feeling affirmation. And then I have to own it. I'm going to own I am a successful businessman. I'm going to own that that's my affirmation. I am going to write it down. I'm going to think it. I'm going to script it, visualize it, say it to myself like repeatedly, like saturating my mind with that mindset. Any of that is good because it's owning it. I could like say it when I wake up and say it when I go to bed. That's just really owning it and really feeling into it. Yes, I am a successful business person. It's like commanding it. And now you got to sustain it. Sustain it no matter what. Even if I see evidence that I'm not a successful business person. Even if there are people that don't want to work with me, or I ask somebody if they want to work with me and they're saying no, and it doesn't matter, because I'm going to sustain it through. I'm going to keep saying I'm a successful business person. Just like in the improv, I'm going to keep being the dog guy. I still have that worldview. It's kind of similar because in improv, you pick characters with a worldview. The character could literally think money is easy. I could play that on stage, a character that's like money is easy. And then you don't want to drop it, even if my scene partner is saying something the opposite. Of course, they're going to play a character that's like, money's really hard. And it might be tempting to join them in it. But if I've already established my worldview, I'm not going to drop it. I can't drop it. It's funnier if I keep it. And so in life, if I have this affirmation, I'm a successful businessman, it's better. It will just work out better for myself if I keep it. If I don't drop it. If I can persist through anything that I see going on. Somebody could argue with me. They could literally tell me to my face, "You are not successful. You're not successful for this reason, and this reason." And that is the most important time for me to go all the way with my affirmation that I'm owning. Because that's how it works. That's how you make money. Not by dropping it and abandoning it. All right, so to sum up, to go back, the process is go with your gut, go strong. There's actually a phrase in improv, go strong, be wrong, because they're like, be willing to be wrong. It might sound wrong in your head, but you just do it anyway. You might like not even know how to do like a British accent, but you're like endowed with it in the improv scene, and then you're going to do it strong, even if it's wrong, even if it's just a voice that doesn't sound British, but you keep that voice up. Because it doesn't matter what you pick. This is really key. It never matters what you pick. It only matters that you commit and sustain it and keep going. No, keep going with it. So that's it. Pick it, own it, sustain it. I want to see how you guys apply that to your life and your business and your coaching practice. How you can make money with that process. All right. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Everybody come on in. We'll go commit on 3. 1, 2, 3, commit!